Martha McSally, Arizona rejected you in 2018. And you know why. You were too close to Donald Trump. And you lost badly. Now you've gone full Trump. Again.
Man, you're a liberal hack. I'm not talking to you.
You knew Arizona wanted the truth. We demanded witnesses and evidence in the trial of Donald Trump. Oh, there's a reason your poll numbers are dropping fast, and you're on your way to defeat. Oh, that's right, Martha. Again. Arizona has always produced mavericks, true independents. People like John McCain and Barry Goldwater, senators that served Arizona, people of courage, toughness. They stood for what was right, no matter the political risk. And they are remembered as American heroes. And you, Martha, you'll be remembered as just another Trump hack. If you're remembered at all.
Boy, that was the latest tough ad from the Lincoln Project. The group of conservatives led by Rick Wilson, who are critical of Donald Trump and also critical of Republican members of Congress who blindly and obsequiously put the values of their constituents second to that of Donald Trump's. And it's very interesting, Willie, while we were looking at that ad, you couldn't help but be moved by the images of Barry Goldwater, of course, one of the great conservative icons of all time, who was a guy that got in his car, drove down to the White House in 1974, and walked in and told Richard Nixon the truth, that it was time to leave the White House, that for the good of the country, he needed to resign. What a contrast with Martha McSally, who decides she's going to get on another corrupt president's good side by yelling at reporters who play it down the middle and actually get criticized by Democrats and Republicans alike.
Yeah, implicit in that ad when they show Barry Goldwater is what you're doing, Martha McSally and others, isn't conservatism, it's Trumpism. You're not being a conservative, you're being a Trumpist. And implicit in that ad when they show John McCain is you're not being an iconoclast, you're going along with Donald Trump in a way that John McCain would not be going along with Donald Trump. So she's obviously that moment in the halls of Congress a couple of weeks ago got her what she wanted. She put an ad up and fundraising and everything else because she called a reporter a liberal hack. She thought that was good for her reelection. It remains to be seen if voters in Arizona agree.
Yeah, I doubt they will. Actually, usually when something like that happens, all it does is end up juicing the fundraising on both sides, and usually the other side comes out on top. But we'll see. Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.